the dark side of sustainable image deception and corporate greed. Uncover how green marketing hides corporate greed and image deception, plus ways to spot the truth behind sustainable claims. The ugly truth about sustainable branding and corporate greed. Hey, have you ever noticed how so many big companies these days claim they're going green or super sustainable? It's everywhere, on your clothes, in your groceries, even on tech gadgets. Seems like a win-win, right? You get a product and the planet wins too. But here's the kicker. Much of that so-called sustainability is more smoke and mirrors than real action. Let me explain what I mean by that. We're living in an age where corporate image can be just as important as the products they sell. That's where sustainable image deception comes in. Companies want to be seen as eco-friendly because it sells, but beneath that shiny green veneer is often pure corporate greed. What's happening is this. Instead of making genuine hard changes that reduce pollution, waste, and carbon footprints, many corporations invest heavily in advertising campaigns. They hire slick marketing firms that paint their practices as earth-saving miracles, even when those practices barely move the needle. Ever hear of greenwashing? That's exactly what it is. For example, a major clothing brand might launch a sustainable line of garments, but keep churning out the usual wasteful mass-produced stuff on the side. Or a food company slaps a label like "made with renewable energy" on their packaging, but sources ingredients from places destroying ecosystems or relies on massive plastic waste in their supply chain. And of course, this isn't just annoying, it actually does harm. It tricks consumers into thinking their dollars are supporting environmental progress when they're just lining corporate pockets. Plus, it lets the worst offenders off the hook because they only have to look good, not actually be good. It's a classic case of corporate greed wrapped in a sustainable bow. Why does this happen? Well, changing entire production lines or overhauling supply chains is expensive. It cuts into pharmaceutical profits or other industries' margins just like it would in retail, manufacturing, or energy. So instead, companies push for optics over reality. It gets even more tangled when governments get involved. Sometimes their role in enabling this image deception can seem shady or opaque. Some might even call it a government conspiracy to protect big business interests at the expense of public good. Regulations can be watered down or loosely enforced, leaving companies free to make untrue claims about their environmental impact without real consequences. And here's the thing. The media and watchdog groups can't always catch every instance. Sure, there are plenty of untrue allegations thrown around, but there's a solid foundation that a lot of these green claims don't hold up under scrutiny. The responsibility ends up on us, the consumers, to educate ourselves and look beyond the fancy labels. So how do you avoid getting duped? Here are a few quick tips. Research companies beyond their ads, their sustainability reports, supply chain info, any independent audits. Look for certifications that actually mean something, not just trendy logos slapped onto products. Support smaller brands or local businesses that have transparent practices instead of huge corporations hiding behind PR. Stay skeptical of buzzwords like eco-friendly or natural unless they're backed by hard data. At the end of the day, real sustainability means sacrifice and investment, not just marketing budgets. It requires change at every level, from how raw materials are sourced to how products are made, packaged, and shipped. That takes time, and it takes genuine commitment. And if you're into thrilling stories that touch on how power, greed, and deception play out behind closed doors, I've got something to recommend. The Ultimate Frame by Andrew M. Semple is a fast-paced novel that explores some of these themes. It's not just entertaining, but also makes you think about the bigger picture behind the facades we're often fed. Discover this thrilling novel by Andrew M. Semple today at bookauthor.com and get a fresh perspective on how an ultimate frame of deception might just be playing out in real life. Trust me, it's worth checking out. All right, that's my little rant on sustainable image deception and corporate greed. Next time you see some eco-friendly hype, remember, not everything green is clean.